Hey guys, we got a good Friday night game this week between Miami and Louisville. And whether you're just a casual sports fan or a sports bettor, this will be the best detailed breakdown of a football game you're going to find on the internet. So let's get on into it. And Miami's defense, we're going to start with that because they're just absolutely nasty this year. Gets the passer 37th EPA per play and 30th in success rate. Gets the run even better, 11th in EPA per play, 11th in success rate. And it's kind of hard to really poke some holes in Miami. They've been good just all around with 36th EPA per play and 70 or 5th in success rate when passing the football, then 33rd success rate and 42nd EPA per play in rushing the football. So very, very good team this year. We'll take that PFF grades next, and they kind of back up the same story. And Miami's defense, they graded out all 80s, which is real elite the last four games. Run defense, almost all 80s across the season. Same with pass rush. Just outside the football, it's been very tough on teams to move the football against Miami. And on the offense side of the ball, I won't say they're quite as good. I think the defense is the better part of the team this year, but that offense is certainly more than capable of getting the job done. Carson Beck's not a veteran quarterback. They would have keep him clean in the pocket. They got very good pass blocking grades. Their run blocking grades are not so great. They kind of grade out in the 60s, but visually on that, I would say they look impressive every game I watched them. So I'm take that what you will. Uh, they're just complete. I mean, you can't really poke no holes in Miami. And never let Carson Beck stacks when he's kept clean under pressure. He's been kept clean 85.7% of the time, 14.3% under pressure. When he's kept clean, nine touchdowns, one pick. If you can get him under pressure, that's when he struggles a little bit. 53.8 PFF grade, two touchdowns, two interceptions. You see in the bottom left, Carson Beck just doesn't get pressured this year. Now look at Miami's offensive line and Louisville's pass rush, and I think Louisville might be able to have some sort of a matchup here. Miami does have the really good pass rush. Francis Malagoa, 82.6 grade. Markel Bell, 78.7. Like I said, they're just an elite pass rush. But Louisville might be the best defensive line that Miami's faced this year. Cleve Lubin, 93.2 grade, 24 total pressures, 23.7% win rate. Even Wesley Bailey, 19% win rate. And then AJ Green on a lot less snaps, 32.1% win rate. So Louisville is more than capable of getting after him. And if that's going to be I would say one of the key matchups of the football game. Because if Louisville can at least win or stalemate that, I think it's slow Miami's offense down just a little bit. But if Miami wins that battle up front, then I think it's going to be a long night for Louisville. And not really at Louisville's advanced stats, and they're a little bit different. Miami when it comes to passing the football, 83rd EPA per play, 49th in success rate, and when they're running the football, even worse, 66th EPA per play, 89th in success rate. And when they played James Madison, I was just on a Thursday night a couple weeks ago. I remember watching that game, and I was amazed just at how bad Louisville was line was getting a push on James Madison. And so every time I watch them play, I just haven't been visually impressed with them. The advanced metrics back it up. So take that what you will. Their defense side of the ball is where they really haven't struggled as much. Against the pass, fourth in EPA per play, 15th in success rate. And then against the run, 40th in EPA per play and 12th in success rate. So a little bit softer against the run, but still by far an elite defense. And I know that Louisville's PFF grades, and they're not quite as good as Miami's, but Louisville's kind of been a defensive team this year. That offense can be a lot to be desired at times. You see Louisville's defense graded out in 80s pretty much in every game but the Virginia game. But Virginia does have a solid offense. Just Virginia's defense that kind of hurts them a little bit. And Louisville, they're kind of opposite of Miami in the trench. Louisville really doesn't run block that well. Their pass block can be about the same as a run block, maybe just a tad bit better, but still not great. And we'll look at Miller Moss's stats when he's kept clean and under pressure. He's been kept clean 68% of the time, 87.4 grades, six touchdowns, three picks. When he's kept under pressure, he almost poops his pants. He's 34.6 PFF grade, one touchdown, one pick. And I think Miami's going to get after him a lot in this football game. You got two of the best 1-2 combination of pass rushers in the game. Ruben Bay and Akeem Mesidor. Those two are just monsters off the edge. 28.6% win rate, 24.6% pass rush win rate, which is elite. Marquise Lightfoot, just keeping those two out of your backfield wasn't tough enough. He's got a 21.6% win rate, 73.9 grade, which is nothing to sneeze at. So I don't see no scenario where Louisville wins this matchup up front. And now we get to how I think when it comes to Miami passing versus Louisville, we kind of break it down like that. And I say Miami's passing attack versus the Louisville defense. Some of that's going to hinge on if Louisville can get to Carson Beck. I think if Louisville can somehow get a stalemate or maybe even win, which I'm not sure, then maybe they can do something. But right now, I have to give the edge to Miami slightly. I think every game I watched, Miami, it's been really impressed with that offensive line. So for me, I got to go with Miami, but it's a slight edge. And if Louisville somehow won that battle, I wouldn't be shocked. And Miami's rushing attack, I think Miami can establish enough of a run game to keep Louisville off balance. So I got to give the edge to Miami there. And Louisville pass attack versus Miami, and this is going to be a long day for Miller Moss. I haven't been impressed with that dude, and seeing Miami's rushers, I just don't see no. I've already showed you Louisville's PFF grades on the offensive line. There's no scenario where I see Louisville having a good day throwing the football. So I got a huge edge to Miami. And the Louisville rush attack versus Miami, I think Miami's front is going to have a field day here. They're at home. They got a team that doesn't really match up with them on the trenches on that side of the football. So I don't see Louisville scoring very many points in the game. Now to come with my prediction and my final score, we're going to look at Miami's yards per point and points per play. And actually, both of these teams are really efficient when it comes to this. Miami covers around the 12 to 11 points per play mark, or yards per point. I mean, 12 against Notre Dame, 12 against Bethune Cookman, 11 South Florida, 13 against Florida, and 12 against Florida State. So real consistent. Kind of shows they're efficient at. If you take your total yards divided by points, kind of just shows how efficient you are about converting all those yards into points. And Miami's defense, like I said, has been absolutely nasty. Ever since the opening game at Notre Dame, which Notre Dame does have a good offense this year, it's been 63 for Bethune Cookman, 27 for South Florida, 20 for Florida, and 18 for Florida State. So if Miami can hold Louisville to some of those numbers, it's going to be a long day for Louisville. Because I don't see them getting past maybe 300 yards of offense at best. And if they get 20 points with that, we'll go into that final score in just a second. And Louisville's yards per points and points per play is, Louisville's very efficient with theirs too, but they're also about to run into the best defense they faced all season. And in a matchup, I just don't see them dominating the trenches in. And Louisville's defense has been, like I said, it's a strength of their team too. 18 points per play against Bowling Green and James Madison, 8 yards per point against Eastern Kentucky, 7.9 against Virginia. That wasn't great, but Virginia does have a good offense, so I can kind of see it a little bit. But points per play are allowed. Louisville doesn't really run a lot of plays. They're only 42 against James Madison, 75 against Eastern Kentucky was probably their most. 55 plays, 63 plays. If you go to Miami, Miami doesn't run a whole lot of plays either. 76 plays against Florida was about their high. 68 South Florida. So I don't really see both teams getting out of the 60. So I think it's going to be a slower paced game. So my prediction is going to be Miami 28, Louisville 17. I wouldn't be shocked if Louisville got held to like 14 or 10. And in that case, I think Miami can cover. I think Miami probably cap out at about 35-point range. I do like the under 50. I think there's a lot of value in that. Is I just don't see Louisville really moving the football that much, and I think Louisville can stalemate Miami just enough on that side of the ball to be able to get under the 50. Maybe if you want to parlay that with something else, buy it out to like 53 and a half, and then ride with that. But certainly, I think Miami's in a good position to cover on this game, and we'll see what happens. That's my predictions. Thank y'all for watching.